Dear learner, I welcome you all to the MOOC on Principle of Electrical Sciences. I am Dr. Sanjay Agrawal, Associate Professor in Electrical Engineering, School of Engineering and Technology, IGNOU, New Delhi. In previous session, we discussed working of actual transformer, or you can say real transformer, with equivalent circuit diagram, with phasor diagram, with different load like resistive load, RL load and RC load. In this session, we will discuss how to make exact equivalent circuit with secondary parameter referred to the primary side, and we will also discuss how you can make the exact equivalent circuit diagram when you transfer primary parameter referred to the secondary side. So first of all, we are going to discuss equivalent circuit of transformer. So as you know, transformer has primary and secondary binding resistances and reactance in case of the real transformer or actual transformer. It has also no load components. So here you can see in this equivalent circuit that voltage V1 is applied, which have a frequency f hertz, and on the primary side the resistance of the primary winding is denoted by R1, and leakage reactance at the primary side is denoted by the X1, and this E1 is a induced EMF at the primary side, and I0 is a no load current, and this no load component are also given, that is a R1 and X0. In R0 there is a one current flowing, that is a IC, and magnetizing current is flowing through X0. So this I1 dash is equal to what? This I1 dash is nothing but it is a compensating current, or you can say it is a counterbalancing current, and this I1 current is the phasor sum of current I0 and I1 dash. Similarly, at the secondary side, if you see that induced EMF at secondary side is a E2, and current I2 is flowing when load is connected, and R2 is the resistance of the secondary winding, and X2 is the reactance due to the leakage reactance in the secondary side, and this load is connected as a ZL, and B2 is the voltage across the load. Now we will discuss equivalent circuit referred to the primary side. So here you can see that means all the secondary parameter are referred, or you can say it is transferred to the primary side. So here you can see that all the parameter which at primary side are the same, that is a V1, R0, X0, IC, IM, R1, X1. The parameter which was transferred from the secondary side, that is R2 dash and X2 dash. Similarly, secondary voltage B2 is transferred to the primary side, which is denoted here V2 dash, and load ZL is transferred to the primary side, which is denoted as ZL dash. So as you know, this I0 is a very small, that means the no load current is very small, so it is nearly 2 to 6% of the full load current. So its drop across R1 and X1 is neglected. Now shift the no load branch of to the left of the R1 and X1. This is called approximate equivalent circuit of transformer referred to the primary side. It is assumed that this voltage, supplied voltage V1 and induced EMF is nearly equal to E1, even under the condition of the load also. This assumption is justified because of the values of the winding resistance and leakage reactance are very small. Therefore, the exciting current drawn by the parallel combination of R0 and X0 would not be affected significantly by shifting it to the input terminals. With this change, the equivalent circuit has been become as shown in figure. The resistance of the two winding can be transferred to any one side, either primary or the secondary, without affecting the performance of the transformer. So when resistors are transferred to either side, the copper losses remains same. So just you can write the equation for the copper loss, because copper losses happens in the resistance. So copper losses happens in the binding of the resistance in the both side, primary side and secondary side. So primary resistance is the R1, which is in the primary winding, and resistance R2 is the resistance in the secondary winding. So total copper losses can be written as I1 square R1 plus I2 square R2, where I1 is the primary current and I2 is the secondary current. So if you take this I1 square common here, so you can write R1 plus I2 upon I1 whole square multiplied by R2. So here you can again write, that means you can write total copper losses is equal to I1 square plus R1 plus R2 upon K square, where this K is what? K is a transformation ratio and it is equal to I1 upon I2. So this copper losses can be written as I1 square R1 equivalent. This R1 equivalent is what? R1 equivalent is equal to R1 plus R2 upon K square. That means when you transfer secondary resistance to the primary side, what you will do? Just you take the resistance R2 and divide by the square of the transformation ratio. That means you can write R2 dash is equal to R2 upon K square. Similarly, you can transfer secondary reactance to the primary side, and this reactance can be denoted as X2 dash. So X2 dash denotes that secondary reactance is transferred to the primary side, which is equal to X2 upon K square. So equivalent resistance referred to the primary can be written as this R1 equivalent is what? If you consider the resistance of the primary binding and resistance of the secondary binding which is transferred to the primary side. So R1 equivalent can be written as R1 plus R2 dash, and so this can also be written as R1 plus R2 upon K square. So R2 dash is equal to what? R2 upon K square. Similarly, you can write the equivalent reactance referred to the primary side. It can be written as X1E. Since X1E can be written as X1 plus X2 dash. So this X2 dash is what? X2 dash is the secondary reactance transferred to the primary side. So you can write X1E is equal to X1 plus X2 upon K square. So you have calculated the equivalent resistance referred to the primary side. You have calculated the equivalent reactance referred to the primary side. So you can write the expression for the equivalent impedance referred to the primary side also. It can be denoted as Z1E. So Z1E is equal to what? R1E plus JX1E. So if you say that secondary impedance is transferred to the primary side, so how you can write? Just you write secondary impedance and divide by K square, where K is a transformation ratio. So this Z1E can be written as Z equal to Z2E upon K square. So this is the summary of this. That means you can write secondary induced EMF transfer to the primary side. It can be denoted as E2 dash. So E2 dash is equal to what? E2 upon K. Similarly, you can write the secondary current transfer to the primary side, which is denoted by I2 dash, which is equal to KI2. And as you know, Z2 is equal to what? R2 plus JX2. So if you want to write Z2 dash, that means secondary impedance transferred to the primary side. So Z2 dash can be written as Z2 upon K square. Similarly, secondary resistance transferred to the primary side can be written as R2 dash. This R2 dash is equal to what? R2 upon K square. In the same way, you can also write secondary reactance transferred to the primary side. X2 dash is equal to X2 upon K square. On the same way, you can also transfer the load impedance also. And what is the load impedance? Load impedance is ZL. So if you transfer this load impedance to the primary side, so you can write ZL dash is equal to ZL upon K square. You can also transfer the secondary voltage, or you can say secondary terminal voltage, or you can say load voltage, which is denoted by V2. So if you are transferring this V2 voltage at the primary side, so V2 dash can be written as V2 upon K. So as you know, because you have transferred all the secondary parameter to the primary side, right? And just we are assuming that it is a step-up transformer, or you can say N2 is more than N1. If it is a step-up transformer, that means primary side is a low voltage side. So primary side is a low voltage side, that means it will have high current. If it is a high current, so that means it will have a low impedance. So as you know, current is equal to what? Current is equal to voltage divided by impedance. So if current is high, that means impedance is low. So just you have to remember that low voltage means high current which have low impedance. Similarly, if there is a high voltage side, so what will have? It will have low current and it will have high impedance. So if you want to calculate the full load current at the primary side, so it can be written as I1FL is equal to kVA, that means rating of the transformer, because it is given in the kVA means kilo, just multiplied by 1000 divided by the primary voltage V1, so you will be able to calculate the primary full load current. Similarly, you can calculate the secondary full load current is equal to kVA multiplied by 1000 divided by the voltage of the secondary side, that is a V2. And you have to remember that K, that is a transformation ratio, is equal to what? B2 upon B1, or you can write K is equal to N2 upon N1. Now we have to discuss approximate equivalent circuit referred to the secondary side. So previously what we have discussed, when the secondary parameter are transferred to the primary side. Now we are going to discuss approximate equivalent circuit referred to the secondary side. So here you can see in the circuit, that means all the parameter which was given in the secondary side are the same. You can see here, that means R2, X2, B2, ZL are the same. Similarly, I2 current is the same, B2 voltage is the same. Now what you are transferring from primary to secondary side? You are transferring resistance of the primary winding, that is R1. You are transferring reactance of the primary winding, that is X1. You are transferring no loss component or load loss component, that is a R0, X0. You are also transferring the primary voltage V1 to the secondary side. Similarly, you are also transferring the primary induced EMF E1 to the secondary side. So when R1 is shifted to the secondary side, copper losses remains the same. So total copper losses can be written as I1 square R1 plus I2 square R2, where I1 is the primary binding current and I2 is the secondary binding current, and R1 is the resistance of the primary binding, R2 is the resistance of the secondary binding. So this expression can also be written as, when you take I2 square outside, so you can write I2 square in bracket I1 upon I2 square into R1 plus R2. So this I1 upon I2 is what? This I1 and I2 is nothing but it is a transformation ratio which is denoted by K. So you can write total copper losses is equal to what? I2 square multiplied by K square R1 plus R2. So this K square R1 plus R2 is what? This is R equivalent referred to the secondary side. So you can write total copper losses is equal to I2 square multiplied by R2E. This R2E is nothing but it is a K square R1 plus R2. So equivalent resistance referred to the secondary side can be written as R2E is equal to R2 plus R1 dash. So R2 is the resistance of the secondary binding, R1 dash is nothing but it is a resistance of the primary winding which is referred to the primary side. So this value of R1 dash is what? It is K square R1. So R2E is equal to R2 plus K square R1. Similarly, you can also write equivalent reactance referred to the secondary side. X2E is equal to X2 plus X1 dash, where X2 is the leakage reactance of the secondary binding and X1 dash is the leakage reactance of primary binding which is referred to the secondary side. So you can write X2E is equal to X2 plus K square X1. So equivalent impedance referred to the secondary side can be written as Z2E is equal to R2E plus JX2E. So if you are directly transferring the impedance of the primary binding to the secondary side, so you can write Z2E is equal to K square Z1E, where this Z1E is the equivalent impedance of the primary binding. So this is the some basic tips by which you can remember the formulas. As you know, if you are transferring the resistance of the primary binding to the secondary side, so it is denoted as R1 dash. So this R1 dash is equal to what? K square R1. Similarly, primary leakage reactance is transferring to the secondary side, it is denoted by X1 dash. So X1 dash is equal to what? K square into X1. And as you know, resistance of the primary binding can be written as Z1 is equal to R1 plus J X1. So this can be written as Z1 dash means impedance of the primary binding is referred to the secondary side. It can be denoted as Z1 dash is equal to K square Z1. Similarly, this no load power loss component, that is R naught, can be transferred to the secondary side, which can be denoted by R naught dash is equal to K square R naught. Similarly, X naught dash can be written as K square X naught. And you can also calculate the primary binding full load current and secondary binding full load current. So primary binding full load current I1 F full load current can be written as kVA multiplied by 1000 divided by the voltage of the primary binding, that is V1. Similarly, you can calculate the secondary binding current I2 at full load is equal to kVA multiplied by 1000 divided by the secondary terminal voltage, that is V2. So total copper losses can be written as I1 square R1 plus I2 square R2, or you can say I1 square R1E, or if you are transferring to the secondary side, so total copper losses can be written as I2 square R2E. This I1 is a primary full load current and I2 is a secondary full load current. Now we are going to discuss some problem on the basis of previous discussion. So question is given, a 15 kVA 2200/110 volt single phase transformer has resistance R1 is equal to 1.75 ohm and secondary binding resistance R2 is 0.045 ohm, and leakage reactance are given as X1 is equal to 2.6 ohm and X2 is equal to 0.0075 ohm. So what you have to calculate? You have to calculate equivalent resistance and reactance referred to the primary side. Second, you have to calculate equivalent resistance and reactance referred to the secondary side. Then you have to calculate equivalent impedance referred to the primary and secondary side, and as well as you have to also calculate the total copper losses. So the parameter that are given from the question, just you extract all the given data from this problem. So you can write V1 is equal to 2200 volt, V2 is equal to 110 volt, R1 is equal to 1.75 ohm, R2 is equal to 0.0045 ohm, X1 is equal to 2.6 ohm, X2 is equal to 0.0075 ohm. So because you have a value of V2, you have a value of V1, so you can also calculate the transformation ratio, that is a K. This K is equal to what? V2 upon V1, that is a 110 divided by 2200, so it comes 0.05 ohm. So what does it indicate? That means it is a step down transformer. So you have to calculate the resistance transferred to the primary side. So this R1E can be written as R1 plus R2 dash, and this R2 dash is what? Secondary resistance referred to the primary side. So this R2 dash can be written as R2 upon K square. So R1E is equal to R1 plus R2 upon K square, and value of R1 is 1.75 and R2 is equal to 0.045 and value of K2 is what? 0.05. So just put the value and solve it. So this R1E comes 3.55 ohm. Similarly, you can calculate the leakage reactance referred to the primary side. So this X1E can be written as X1 plus X2 dash. So X2 dash can be written as X2 upon K square. So X1E is equal to X1 plus X2 upon K square. So value of X1 is what? Value of X1 is 2.6 and value of X2 is what? 0.0075 and value of K is what? 0.05. So just put all this value and it solve it. So value of X1E comes 5.6 ohm. Similarly, you can calculate the value of the resistance, value of reactance and impedance which is referred to the secondary side. So R2E can be written as R2 upon R1 dash. This R1 dash is what? Primary resistance referred to the secondary side. So R2E can be written as R2 plus R1 dash, which is equal to R2 plus K square R1. So you have a value of R2, you have a value of R1, you have a value of K. Just put this value and solve it. It comes R2 is equal to 0.00887 ohm. Similarly, you can calculate the X2E. X2E is equal to X2 plus X1 dash. This X1 dash can be written as K square X1. So X2E is equal to X2 plus K square X1. So just put the value of X2, X1 and K. After the putting the value and after the calculation, you get the value of X2 is equal to 0.014 ohm. So you have calculated the resistance and inductance refer to the primary side as well as the refer to the secondary side. So you can calculate the Z1E is equal to what? R1E plus JX1E. So you have a value of R1E, you have a value of X1E, just put the value and solve it. So this Z1E comes 6.6304 ohm and Z2E can be written as R2E plus JX2E. So you have a value of R2, you have a value of X2E. So just put the value R2 as 0.00887 and X2E is equal to 0.014. So after the calculation, you get the value of Z2E is equal to 0.01657 ohm. Now you can calculate the full load current at the primary side. Full load current primary side can be written as kVA multiplied by 1000 divided by V1. So kVA is given as a 15 and 1000 is just to divide in VA only, and value of V1 is what? 2200. So after the calculation you get primary full load current is equal to 6.8181 ampere. Similarly, full load current at secondary side can be written as kVA divided into 1000 divided by V2. So it is kVA is 15 and V2 is 110. So just after the solving this, you get the value of full load current at secondary side is equal to 136.3636 ampere. Now you have to also calculate the total copper losses. So total copper losses can be calculated by this formula, that is I1 square R1 plus I2 square R2. So you have calculated I1, I2, you have value of R1 and R2. So just put all these parameter in this expression and solve it. So this comes equal to 165.027 ohm. So same calculation can be done with help of the all the parameter referred to the primary side and all the parameter referred to the secondary side. So this total copper losses can also be written as I1 square into R1E. So you have a value of R1E, that is a 3.55, and value of I1E is equal to 6.81. So after the solving you get the total copper losses as 165.027 watt, as we have already calculated by the formula I1 square R1 plus I2 square R2. Similarly, you can calculate the total copper losses by the resistance R2E, which is referred to the secondary side. That means you can write total copper losses is equal to I2 square R2E. So value of I2 is equal to what? 136.36. Just you square it and multiplied by 0.00887. So after the solving you get total copper losses is equal to 165.027 watt. So this is how you have seen that there is a three method to calculate the copper losses. One is if you have value of I1, R2, R1, R2, just put the value you can calculate. If you have a value of the equivalent resistance either at the primary side or it is referred to the secondary side, then also you can calculate the total copper losses. Next problem that we are going to discuss, that is a 20 kVA 2000/200 volt single phase 50 Hz transformer has primary resistance of 1.5 ohm and reactance of 2 ohm. The secondary resistance and reactance are 0.015 ohm and 0.02 ohm respectively. The no load current of transformer is a 1 ampere at 0.2 power factor. You have to find the equivalent resistance, reactance, impedance referred to the primary side. And you have to also calculate the supply current, you have to calculate the total copper losses, and you have to draw the total approximate equivalent circuit referred to the primary side. So dear learner, if you want to calculate or you want to attempt any question, so first step is just you extract all the data given in the problem. Like rating are given, that is a 20 kVA. Then again this rating is given, that is a 2000/200. That means E2 B2 upon B1 is given. So if B2 and B1 is given, that means you can calculate the transformation ratio. Now you have a value of the resistance and reactance are already given. Secondary side, the resistance and reactance of the secondary side are also given. So just you note down all the parameters that are given in the problem. So B1 is equal to what? 2000 volt, B2 is equal to 200 volt, R1 is equal to 1.5 ohm, X1 is equal to 2 ohm, X2 is equal to 0.02 ohm, R2 is equal to 0.015 ohm, and no load current is also given, that is a 1 ampere, and power factor is given 0.2, there is no load power factor, and rating of the transformer is a 20 kVA. So first step is just you have calculate the transformation ratio, because you have value of B2 and B1. So K is equal to what? B2 upon B1, just put the value of B2 and B1 here. So you get the value of transformation ratio, that is K is equal to 0.1. Now because you have to calculate the all resistance and reactance refer to the primary side. So R1E can be written as R1 plus R2 dash, and R2 dash is what? R2 dash is nothing but R2 upon K square. So R1E is equal to R1 plus R2 upon K square. Just put the value of R1, R2, K here. So you get the value of R1E is equal to 3 ohm. Similarly, you can also calculate the reactance referred to the primary side, that is X1E. So this X1E can be written as X1 plus X2 upon K square, and you have a value of X1 is equal to what? 2, and value of X2 is equal to 0.02. So and value of K is equal to 0.1. So just put the value and solve it. So you get X1 is equal to 4 ohm. So you have a R1E, you have a value of X1E, so you can also calculate the Z1E. So Z1E is nothing but it is a R1E plus J X1E. So you can write Z1E is equal to 3 plus J4. So just you convert rectangular to polar form, you can calculate the value, or you can also calculate 3 square plus 4 square and sum it, and then you take under root. So it comes 5 ohm. So the value of Z1E is equal to 5 ohm. So now you have to calculate the full load current at the primary side. So full load current at primary side can be written as kVA multiplied by 1000 divided by the voltage at primary side, that is a V1. So kVA is a 20 kVA, that is 20 into 10 to the power 3, and V1 is 2000. So after the solving you get full load current at primary side, it is 10 ampere. So you have to calculate the copper losses. So copper losses can be calculated as copper loss is equal to I1 square R1E, where R1E is the total resistance of the transfer referred to the primary side. So R1E is equal to 3, I1 current is a 10, so square of 10 that is 100, 100 into 3 that is 300 watt. Now you have to calculate the no load power loss component. That is you can calculate the value of current IC. So IC can be written as I naught cos phi naught. Just you recall the phasor diagram, so you will be able to write the equation of this IC. So IC is equal to what? IC is equal to I naught cos phi naught, and value of I naught is given 1, and value of cos phi naught is given 0.2, so it comes 0.2 ampere. Similarly, you can calculate IM. IM is equal to what? I naught sin phi naught, and there are different way to calculate this sin phi naught. This sin phi naught can be written as under root 1 minus cos square phi naught. So it comes 1 is the value of current I naught, and value of this sin phi naught is 0.98. So 1 multiplied by 0.98, it comes 0.98 ampere. So now you have to calculate this R naught. So this R naught can be written as applied voltage V1 multiplied by the current IC. Value of V1 is what? 2000, and value of IC is what? 1. So 2000 divided by 1, it comes 2000 ohm. Similarly, you can calculate the X naught, because whatever the voltage is applied at the primary side, it is the same voltage. That means V1 is the same for the R naught and for the this x naught. So x naught can be written as V1 upon Im. Value of V1 is what? 2000, and value of Im is what? 0.98. Just put the value and solve it. So value of x naught comes 2040.81 ohm. So now you have a value of R1, you have a value of R2 dash, you have a value of X1, you have value of X2 dash, you have value of B2 dash, you have value of R0, X0. So all the parameters are given. On the basis of the given data, you can easily draw the equivalent circuit referred to the primary side. So this is the equivalent circuit of the transformer which is referred to the primary side. So dear learner, in today's session we discussed how to make exact equivalent circuit with the secondary parameter referred to the primary side and primary parameter referred to the secondary side. Hope you were able to learn all the concept that was explained today. So in the next session we would discuss power losses that occurs in transformer, like copper losses, which is a variable losses. We would also discuss eddy current losses and hysteresis losses, which are constant losses. And we would also discuss the testing of the transformer, like we will discuss how the open circuit test and short circuit test are performed in transformer. Thank you very much.